Don't let this year go by and be doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That is literally the definition of insanity. And in this episode, we're going to go over 26 career standards that you should be implementing in 2026. Let's get started. Now, before I start this episode, I do want to let you guys know that all of these standards are things that, based on my experience, that I didn't do, and I don't want you to go through that. And I also want to let you know that if you are going through some of these things, I hear you. I'm here for you because I went through it and I understand how it feels to be in a job that just doesn't fit you, that is too small for you, or that is the environment is so toxic, there's just no way any flower can bloom. So with that being said, these are 26 things, so there's a lot on the list. So disclaimer, there's not going to be any timestamps because it's a lot. I'm not a YouTube slave, okay? So some of them are self-explanatory and we're going to go quickly. But some of them, I'm going to give you some stories and I'm going to give you some anecdotes so you understand where I'm coming from and to see yourself in my stories, because this is not something unique to me. I know it's not something unique to me. So let's get started. I'm going to be going through my notes so I don't miss any of these wonderful tidbits that I'm giving you. You don't accept roles that require you to shrink. This is a big one. So a lot of these environments require you to shrink, to become smaller, and then you don't give your opinions often, and you don't express yourself and express your creativity, and you're doomed if you do and you're doomed if you don't. I know I was in a startup where my coworker that thought that was my supervisor felt some sort of threatened. He was threatened by me and he just wouldn't let me express my opinions. And if I did, it would be ridiculed as ridiculous or like not smart. And then a month later, he would put his own spin on my idea. Quote it as his. I would even say, yo, that's my idea, just with a different color, like a different spin. You're just paraphrasing what I said a month ago. And he would respond with, well, you didn't say it loud enough. See, that's when someone just takes from you and makes you small. So in those kind of environments, we're not accepting that. You're going to stand up for yourself. And you're going to make a point to stand up for yourself, and not in a pedantic way, not in a non-classy way. We are professionals and we are classy ladies. So we do not go into this whole hysteric yelling thing. You're going to say, or you're going to explain to this person that's making you shrink that obviously, listen, you obviously have a problem. Like, you obviously feel threatened, and that's really a you problem, not my problem. And we're going to continue being our big, beautiful selves, okay? Don't let anybody make you shrink or put you in a box. Number 2, you ask about pay early. Like, this is more of like in the interview process. A lot of people are scared to talk about money. We're not afraid of that. And if you see my previous video where I talk about interview questions and things like that, you check it out up here in the cards. It's also going to be in the description box below. We're in the beginning of the interview. We're talking about pay and we're negotiating our worth. Okay? And don't be afraid to ask for what you are worth. Check the market value of your profession. Check out what your male counterparts are worth. Check out what your years of experience, what your portfolio, what you are worth, and make the research and ask for more. Even if it says like, oh, like a data analyst I saw on LinkedIn the other day, she was asking for 105, and it turns out that she was worth 125. And she didn't know because her male counterparts were worth 125. And she went to another employer and asked for 125, and they gave it to her. It's all about negotiating and knowing your worth and being confident in that you know your worth. Okay? You don't apologize for ambition. It's not, if you were a man and you were acting ambitious, does anybody shame you about that? No, they don't. They shame women about it because it's a masculine energy, or like only men can be ambitious. If it's like a woman being ambitious, like I want to be a leader, or I want to be a director, or I want to blah blah blah, or whatever the goal is, then it's seen as like, oh, she's asking for too much. Who does she think she is? I want you to say, who does she think she is? I want you to say that, because that means I'm doing my job of presenting and standing up for myself and presenting my worth. That means I'm doing a good job. And I want you to do that too. Do you think that a male data analyst would apologize for being ambitious and wanting to scale in their career? No, ma'am. It's just like something that it's a given. It's like obvious to them. So if it's obvious to them, it's obvious to you, honey. Moving on. Number 3, this is a big one, especially for me. It's one of my pet peeves, and it is to protect your time like an asset. Viciously protect your time. I absolutely loathe when someone wastes my time. I loathe it because it's something I cannot get back. If it's money, I can make that back. It's something that I can actually pick up physically and grab and get more of. There is more out of that in the world. There is no more time. There is no time machine. You cannot go backwards and you cannot go forwards in time. Your time is so precious, it's so valuable. And if you're a mother and a wife, if someone wastes your time, that's minutes away from your children. That's minutes away from your home, from your husband. That's minutes away from doing things that you enjoy. And that's unforgivable. That is unforgivable. So protect your time like an asset, like it's the most valuable currency in the world. Okay? And don't apologize, okay? Don't be apologizing because you don't tolerate people wasting your time. I literally say that up front. I'm like, listen, I hate people wasting my time. I say that up front. Like, please do not waste my time, because then A, I'm not going to work with you anymore. And B, I'm not going to respect you. And I know that you don't respect me because you're not respecting my time. Ergo, we're not doing business together and we're not working in any projects together. Point blank, period. That's it. My time is the most valuable asset. If you're wasting my time, that's time away that I could have been investing in other projects and other calls and other sales in work environment. And if it's outside of the work environment, that's time away from my YouTube channel. Time away from things I love to do, time away from my family, time away from my dogs, time away from me doing what I like to do. That's insane. No, that's disrespectful. I do not tolerate that. So you shouldn't either. Your time is your most valuable asset. Respect that. Number next, leave environments that disrespect your boundaries. Let me say that again for the people in the back. Leave environments that disrespect your boundaries. Okay? Going back to this startup. This startup was one of the most toxic environments that I have ever worked in. I remember it was this incident that I was asked to manage and to produce a virtual conference, a virtual event, and I had experience doing that and I knew how to do it. And I was telling my boss, like, I know how to do that. I can do a virtual conference, a virtual environment. I've done it before, then yada, 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 and this is how you do it. And then he turns to me and says, so do you really know how to do that, or was that just bullshit? Excuse me? No. First of all, don't talk to me like that. 2, do not disrespect me, because I am your employee, but I am a professional and I know what I'm doing. And I told him, like, if you had any doubts of my capabilities, if you did not read my resume, if you did not take a look at my portfolio that I presented to you to get this position, and you're still doubting me, then that's on you. That's on you on mistrust, and that's on you on being discriminatory towards me, because I'm a young woman in my 20s that I have all this experience. I may have more experience than you. It's not my fault that you didn't take any clients, or you didn't do any freelancing, or you didn't do any internships. It's not my fault that you don't have a fat portfolio. Just, recognize. So in instances like that, what I should have done is not tolerate that kind of behavior and go straight to HR and say, hey, this guy told me this, and if they didn't do anything, I would start looking for another job. That's what I should have done. Not just straight up trying to defend myself or trying to make him respect me. You can't make someone respect you. They either do or they don't. If they don't, then that's your cue to leave. You choose stability and growth over anything. I remember this one statement that Gary Vaynerchuk said in one of his episodes, and it stuck with me forever. And it's, if you are in a job and if you're not growing or learning, you need to leave. And that's very important. You don't have to do both. If you do both, that'd be amazing. That's great. That's the ideal job. But in hindsight, not all jobs are perfect. And if you're young, you're starting out, you need to be learning. And if you're a mid-level executive, you need to be growing. And if you're not doing one or the other in either of these scenarios, then you need to leave, because you're just literally trading your time for dollars and you're not building a career. And you need to be able to recognize that. Next, I don't even know what number we are in. You do not tolerate vague job expectations. What do I mean by that? A job expectation should be clear. For example, in insurance, they'll tell you as a producer, I expect you to generate at least one sale a day based on this amount of volume. This is a clear, measurable expectation, and they'll give you the training to do so. But if someone tells you, I just want you to do better, I just want you to be creative. I had a boss tell me that once. He was like, Victoria, just go out there and be creative. That's not clear. It's not measurable. And it's a guesstimate. You don't have to guess. You don't have to guess in a job, bro. If you're guessing, then what are we doing? We're spending more time just trying to imagine what is the thing that I should be doing versus having a detailed itinerary of the things that I should be doing to move the needle along. What is it that I am contributing to this company? What are the expectations for my role? As a marketing manager, my expectations were to create monthly campaigns to move the needle along, create brand awareness, create events and environments where there was more brand awareness, where there are more sales, where the brand is getting known within the community that we served. Those are measurable expectations, and also KPIs, key performance indicators. If your company is not providing this to you, just first of all, express it like, hey, I really need some guidance. I need some clear expectations as to what my role is. What are some expectations that I should be doing according to my job description? That is XYZ, and I need more direction. Now, if you're met with resistance or, God forbid, hostility with this, because that happened to me in this tech startup that I worked in, by the way, it is no longer in business. That's how great their operations were. I was met with hostility when I asked, hey, I need some more direction. I need more help. Especially at that time, I was a lot younger, so I needed a little bit more guidance as to what to do, because in a startup, it's kind of a toss-up because their teams are so small. You need to do a lot more than what is within your scope. So it's a lot about learning versus growing. Next point, you are not loyal to rules that aren't loyal to you. What does this mean? It means that if these rules don't make sense, if the company is more of like them first, for example, what happened to me where the coworker was very verbally abusive towards me and cussed me out, and I went to HR, made a written complaint about it, and there was a mediation about it, and it turned against me because they presented themselves as an invaluable asset to the company, like they could not live without this person for whatever reason. It just really wasn't true. But the point is that instead of defending me, as an employee being verbally abused, and just absolutely, that was just abhorrent, disgusting, unacceptable behavior. Nobody should be abusing you in any way. Nobody in the work environment should ever raise their voice. They should never be verbally aggressive towards you. They should never curse you out. This is not the environment where this is supposed to happen. Like, we're not in the streets, homeboy. We're in freaking corporate. And the fact that the HR lady, yeah, a woman, did this to me because this person did not get along with me and my brilliant ideas that he would steal, they weren't loyal. So why would I feel like I had loyalty towards a company and that did not have my back? So if you feel that, because you will feel it, it's very obvious when the company is more pro whatever's going on, whatever bro thing is going on, it's loyal to them, not you. And you can tell. So if you see those signs, don't even bother going to HR. Don't even bother complaining about it. Don't even bother fighting. It's a waste of your energy. Just pick up your energy and say acknowledged. Thank you, universe, for giving me the signal. Now it's time to find a new career, a new job. Next point is to speak clearly and stop explaining. Stop talking in circles. You speak to the point, matter-of-factly, point blank, period. Not bluntly, not aggressive, not disrespectful. It's more like a statement instead of ambiguous statement. For example, I believe that the campaign did well because our numbers were up, versus the campaign did well this month because we did XYZ KPIs and we beat them. You see how declarative that statement is versus I believe and I think and I feel. Those are ambiguous statements. And if you have to like over explain, I really feel that we should really do this plan because I think that this is going to be a good idea. And this is why I think it's going to be a good idea because of all this and all this explaining and explaining and explaining. It makes you seem that you are not confident in what you're saying. It makes you seem like you have to explain yourself because you're overcompensating for something. Something is wrong with this plan that I need to explain a lot so I can get this through my boss. Get the buy-in, it's called. When you get buy-in, it's when someone is in with it, in with your idea. And like Margarita Navashenko says on YouTube, she says, never complain, never explain. And this is exactly my point. No, just keep it simple. This is my idea. These, based on the research, this is why it will work. And this is the budget. And marketing, again. Declarative statements with confidence. Next, you dress like the woman you want to become, not the woman you outgrown. Let that simmer for a second. You dress like the woman you want to become, not the woman you outgrown. This version of you where you're explaining, where you're shrinking, where you're letting people bully you, we need to outgrow this girl quickly. So we're going to turn into the confident, beastly woman that you are. You don't dress for success, you are success. Because you are just success, the drip shows, the confidence shows. You're becoming her. You are her. You're that no nonsense, very confident, non-shrinking, non-apologetic, respects her time kind of lady. And we're going to dress like her. You ask questions without minimizing yourself. Now this one, I don't particularly have experience with. I was bullied as a kid, so I always stood up for myself. Okay? So I never minimized myself like that. But I did see this on a national interview with Marco Rubio, where the journalist, she asked the question and then she says, I'm confused. Now that completely invalidates the whole question. She was asking about Venezuela and Maduro, and she was saying, why didn't you guys take out the regime? Why didn't you guys just take out everybody? I'm confused. I'm not going to give my opinion about that, but what I'm giving my opinion is the forming of the question. I studied journalism. I have a bachelor's in journalism, and we studied the formulation of a question. The question must be objective, and it must be matter of fact and not involving you at all. There must be no I in that question. What she should have said is, can you clarify? The audience wants to know. Make it about the viewer, not you. The moment you detriment yourself into saying, I'm confused, that's it. You have completely invalidated whatever else you're talking about. Because that's exactly what he did. He said, oh, hook, line, sinker. And he went to home with that. He's like, you're confused? How are you confused? What's going on with you? You're mentally ill or something? You're confused? Why? Why are you confused? Why? What? And then that completely discredits the journalist and completely discredits the question. And it gets rerouted into a personal thing. And no one answered the question. You see that? That's when you invalidate yourself. That's when you minimize yourself when you're asking questions. Do not do that. You ask the question. Hey, Bob, I have a question about this campaign. I need clarification on XYZ. Don't say, hey, Bob, I'm confused about this because I don't understand. And I. No. No I. No detriment. No minimizing. I'm sorry, I'm confused. No, nothing about me. I'm just asking a question. A question about the campaign, a question about X, a question about Y, a question about Z. Answer the question. Next, you choose skill building over empty ideas. What does this mean? In your job environment and or your career, whatever it is that you're doing, we're going to chase skill building opportunities. For example, I right now am in a skill building opportunity because I'm in insurance and I have a background 8 years in marketing and I have no experience in insurance. In my current position, I'm building skills versus empty ideas of wishy-washiness. I'm a productivity expert and I'm going to teach you how to organize yourself, or I'm going to teach you guys how to manage your time. I'm like, dude, you're a coworker. Don't do that. This is a job about technology and how to market technology to enterprise level companies, and so they can manage their own technology. Why are you talking about productivity and how to do bullet points? That's empty. It has nothing to do. It has no substance. It's not relevant to the company. It's not relevant to the campaigning. It's not relevant to anything. So it's empty. So we're going to focus on things. If you want to learn how to organize yourself and learn about productivity, that's something you do on your own time, because I did it. I learned about productivity and I learned about how to organize myself. I'm actually certified in Asana and how to build workplaces and how to organize myself. But I don't talk about it like that because it's a skill that I learned for myself and how to organize my projects and organize myself in the workplace. So it has nothing to do with my current role. I'm not going to be out here trying to convince my coworkers, y'all should do Asana. That's crazy. So keep it niche, keep it focused. We're going to focus on things that you need to build on, skills, hard skills that we need to build on, not soft skills. Soft skills is like productivity, communication, being more friendly. These are soft skills. Hard skills are actual hardball skills, like learning how to code or learning how to sell or learning telesales, learning insure tech, like technology that we use in insurance. Those are hard skills. Next point is very important, and this happened to me. Don't chase validation. Ladies, do not chase validation. Build leverage. Now, we're not out here chasing our bosses to say good job and pat on the head. You can do that to yourself. I do that all the time. I give myself high fives. See, they think I'm clapping or something. I am. Clap for myself. Because I chase validation so much. That's why I stayed in the startup for so long when I shouldn't have. I should have stood up for myself and say, this is not the environment where you're going to grow. This is a toxic place. No flower can bloom, and you are a freaking garden. And this is not the environment for you. That's what I should have done. So, but instead, like, my flower never bloomed because I was out here chasing my boss's validation. I'm like, I hope he really appreciates me. I hope he sees I'm working really hard. Honey, he did, but he didn't care because he saw me as less than because I was young and less than because I was a woman And by the way, this man is Puerto Rican, so I'm Puerto Rican too. And you would think that he would have my back, at least as a fellow Puerto Rican, but no, he was very dismissive and discriminatory towards me. He just doesn't think that we Latina women are capable. And you know what? That speaks more about him and his small mind versus us beautiful, capable women. So, you know what? Hair toss, forget you. I'm thriving. So when I say leverage, I mean build those skills like I did right now. Build those skills, build that acumen, that business acumen, so no one can validate you. You validate yourself. They're going to have to acknowledge the beast that you are. That's what's happening to me right now. Everybody in LinkedIn and even this ex-boss had reached out to me. They're like, you know what? You were right. I'm sorry. I didn't recognize your talents. I didn't recognize, like, listen, it's been years since that happened and you didn't recognize it then. And it took you this long that the company literally turned into dust for you to recognize my worth. Then there's just nothing to talk about. I don't even want to be friends with you. He was like, let's be friends. I'm not going to be friends with you. Until this day, I don't accept that person in my life. We're not friends and we'll never be friends. Not even LinkedIn buddies, nothing. My next point, you don't stay silent to keep the peace. You don't do that. I didn't do that. I was told that I was a disruptor, that I disrupt the peace and I'm confrontational and yada, yada, yada. But the fact that I don't let anybody cuss me out or I don't let anybody talk to me in an aggressive way doesn't mean that I'm a disruptor to keep the peace. I will not stay silent and I will not allow anybody to disrespect me and I will not allow anybody to be abusive towards me. And that just means that I love myself so much and I have this much amount of self-love that I refuse to accept any type of abuse. At work, at home, in friendships, and family, I do not accept it. And you shouldn't either. So don't stay silent to keep the peace. You make a mess. You go up there on HR and you make a mess. Go up there and disrupt. And if they don't listen, go somewhere else. That brings me to my next point. Like, you don't accept this thing of this is how it is. This is just how it is. That was also told to me about the cussing and about my boss told me, like, this is just how it is. This is the environment here. This is the culture here. If you can take it or you get out. We're not taking that because that is not acceptable in any scenario. Okay. If you have a toxic boss telling you this is just how it is, this is the culture in this company, they're lying, because mine was, because I told the HR about it. And they were baffled. They were like, this is not the culture that we promote in this company. And also, this brings me to my next point. I know I have been saying it over and over in these other points of like, oh, well, if this doesn't work, then move on. This literally is that point. It is to move on when alignment is gone. If this is not aligning to you, to your values, to your growth, to your goals, to your person, because you feel like there's hostility towards you or you feel threatened in any way, move on. I am sick and tired of companies with this macho cliche of hustle culture, masking abuse as hustle culture with curse words and abusive, aggressive vocabulary towards people. I just feel it's so violent and just so disgusting that you disguise that as hustle culture, because hustle means that you just work hard. And just because someone doesn't allow you to disrespect them doesn't mean that they're not hustling. Because, honey, I'm a hustler. I hustle. I work 7 days a week. Okay? And if I'm not resting, I'm working. That's a hustler. But you don't see me cursing people out. You don't see me being aggressive towards other people. You don't see me being argumentative or abrasive towards people and coworkers because I'm having a bad day. That's toxic. Take a good look in the mirror, recognize yourself, and ask yourself, is this the boss that I want to be towards my employees? Is this the kind of company that I want to grow? A culture of abuse? To all those blue jacket bros, think about that. Like, oh yeah, it gets things done, but does it? Does it really? I don't think so. Moving on. Next is you don't confuse being liked by being respected. This is something that we women, we kind of dance around with and we don't really understand because we want to be liked so much that we confuse it with respect. And this happened to me where I thought that my coworkers liked me, and they liked me, they wanted to be friends or whatever, but it's not the same thing as respecting me as a professional. Because then because they liked me and they want to be friends, then there's a blur of like, well, I don't want to take orders from my friend. I don't want to listen to what she's saying. I don't want to implement these project management softwares, and I don't want to do what she's telling me to do because I like her. She's my friend, but I don't want to do what she's telling me. That's disrespectful because I am not only your friend. Yeah, I can be your friend, but I have a job to do. I'm the marketing manager and you're my employee. You're on my team. You need to respect that and you need to listen. So that's a big thing that we need to dance around that. Like, what is friendship in the workplace? I have decided that I'm not going to have any friends in the workplace. We're just coworkers and we get along. We're cordial, but you're not my friend. I'm not going to call you to go out to the mall. I'm not going to call you on Sunday for brunch. We're not friends. I have my friends that I do that with, and we don't work together. That's the best part. So don't confuse friendship with work. Next, you invest in yourself without guilt. If you want to pay for yourself for courses to develop a whole new skill, like I did, I invested in myself to become an insurance producer. I invested in the pre-licensing course. I bought another book for Florida. I bought another course to help me with the gaps that I was struggling with. And I paid multiple times for the test because I failed twice and I took the test 3 times. So I paid 3 times for that test. So look at all the things I invested in. I don't feel guilty about it because I'm investing in myself and a new career. And no one said it was going to be easy. Do you remember when you started riding a bike? How many times did you fall? I know I fell a lot. I had a lot of scraped knees before I could ride a straight line. Did you give up? Did you not learn how to ride a bike because you kept falling? No, you get back up and you keep riding. It's the same concept. Don't give up on yourself and don't feel guilty because you're spending money on yourself to grow. This is what you're supposed to do. Instead of spending money on Gucci, spend money on you. And no shame on Gucci. It's an example of like how women don't feel guilty about retail therapy, but feel guilty about professional development. Make it make sense. Please, it's confusing to me. My puppy wanted to say hi. Say hi. Hi. Aww. She looks like me. Number 22. You don't wait to feel ready to take action. This has to do with goal that you want to do, like also building a YouTube channel, building an audience. That's me right now. I never felt ready to do it. That really held me back for years. I've been trying to produce a YouTube channel for years. And I just never had the guts because I didn't feel ready. And I still don't feel ready, honestly. I'm just doing it anyway. And that's my point. You don't feel ready, just do it anyway. Face your fear and push through it and invest in yourself and don't be afraid to do it. Number 23, you take breaks without explaining yourself. Yes, you need to take breaks. And I have been learning this because I am guilty of this because I'm a hustler. So I like to work. But you need to listen to your body and take a break. You need to have proper nutrition, proper sleep. Some days I'm so exhausted after work, I will take a nap. I'm so tired. Listen, you take your nap because you want to, because you need to. Your body needs it. And you need to eat well because your body needs it. You need to spend that money on good groceries because your body needs it. No explanation needed. That's it. Point blank, period. Move on. Number 24 is to choose environments that help your nervous system. This is very important, especially as women. We manifest everything on our bodies. Like how we feel will manifest in our performance. It will manifest in our exterior way. It will manifest in our face and in our bodies. I know when I was in that startup environment, it was just such a horrible environment. My face was full of acne. My hair was falling off. I couldn't grow my hair. I was overweight so bad. None of my clothes fit. I couldn't sleep. I was having nightmares all the time, and my cycle was out of control. It was just insane. This is what cortisol does to our bodies, ladies. It just messes everything up. So we need to find places, especially work. And I don't care if anybody tells you like, oh, you shouldn't really think about work too much. It's just a job. It's not a job, okay? First of all, it's a career. Second of all, you're spending 8 hours a day there, okay? You're spending a lot of time, your whole day, 5 days a week there. So it better be a good environment. Otherwise, it's going to affect your whole life, okay? In this environment that I am right now, I was telling my mom about it. I was like, Mom, this is the first job where I feel so at ease. I feel good. My coworkers are super chill, super nice. My boss is really nice, and I'm learning a lot from them. And I have so many questions, and they answer them like with no problem. They're actually very happy that I'm asking all these questions. And it's the first time I feel low-key appreciated, honestly, and supported. I feel nestled and supported, and it's also an environment of women, and I am loving it. Honestly, I've never worked with only women or have a woman boss, a boss lady. And I'm very excited. This is the first time I feel I'm like, wow, this is it. This is feminine energy. For the first time in my career, I'm in the feminine energy. It feels so good, so peaceful, so at ease. What? Let me tell you, there's nothing better than feel at ease at work, because then you can put in all that energy into producing, all that energy into growing and bloom like the flower that you are. Number 25, you define success on your own terms. What do I mean by that? Success can look different to different people. If you define success in the masculine hustle culture, romance cliche that we see on social media, they'll probably say, I want a Bugatti, I want a big ass mansion, I want $1 million, I want this and that, I want all the women. That's like a very masculine thing. What does success mean to you? Because success can mean, I just want to have a remote job so I can be with my family. I want to be with my husband. I want to have a home, or I want to be able to travel different places because I work remotely, and I want to know new places and learn new languages. Those definitions are success. Success to you. What does that look like? And that's a question that you need to answer for yourself to be able to recognize it. Finally, number 26. Treat your career like a long-term asset, not a short-term fix. Ooh, that's a juicy one. What does that mean? That means that you're going to choose your career very carefully. You're going to choose your career as an investment, as an asset for you to grow, for you to feel fulfilled, for you to find purpose, not for like, I just need a job right now. Whatever it is, I just need it so I can pay my bills. That's a quick fix. And I did that in my last career. And let me tell you, I regretted it. I regretted it because I just needed a job and I picked whatever. And I ended up in this skincare company that just really it was not a fit for me at all. So don't pick something. The pay looks good. I really need a job right now. Let me just grab this job. Don't do that. Take your time. You can always do like a retail job to get the bills paid while you focus on your career, because I know that a lot of people that have gotten into insurance and on LinkedIn, they really researched it to see if it fit their lifestyle, if it fit their needs, looked at day in the life of other producers, see what that looks like. And that's why they are very successful and they enjoy what they do, because they said, I need a career, I need an asset where I can grow, an environment where I can grow. Not like, I need a job right now and I'm just going to go get my license because I just need something where I can get more money. That's coming from nervous energy. And that's all I have for you guys today. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to follow our podcast, She is a Beast, everywhere you listen to podcasts. And don't forget to give this video a like. Go ahead and leave me a comment and tell me which one of these points did you like the most? Which ones are you implementing? Which ones do you want to work on? Let me know in the comments, okay? Don't forget to know your worth, focus on growth, and I believe in you, okay?